Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Prosper, Texas. It is a beautiful afternoon, and what better way to spend it than to go to a big box store and look at what plants they have available, both outdoor gardening as well as indoor plants. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I would love to see our community continue to grow, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. So as you can see right here, I'm going to be taking a little bit of time to show you some of the outdoor gardening, but have no fear, especially for those that are die-hard indoor tropical plant lovers. Don't worry, there are some amazing plants here today that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to actually tell you how I got free plants from Lowe's at the very end. Yes, I ended up getting some free plants at Lowe's at the very end, but for now we're gonna just walk around here and see some of the plants that we have available for purchase. You can see we've got some Acer palmatum, or what you call a Japanese maple. This one is an Acer palmatum bloodgood, and if you haven't ever checked out my Metro Maples nursery walkthrough, definitely check it out. That is something that I am super passionate about, is growing Japanese maples. I love bonsai. I love all things that are related to that. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I just love going to the big box stores right after work. I happened to get out of work early today when I filmed it, and I actually filmed this on the day that the season 2 finale for Cultivation Corner Plant podcast. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. It is all about plant scandals and what you call prop lifting. And don't worry, I did not get free plants at Lowe's through prop lifting. It's really a legitimate way that I got free plants today. You'll have to wait till the very end of the video to get to know how you can actually get free plants at Lowe's. It is a really cool process that anybody can participate in to get some free plants. So definitely take a look at that at the very end of this video. But as you can see right here, I am just walking around showing you some of these Acer palmatum and Japanese maples. They have a wide selection, and they're really cost effective when you think about it. Now, here's the thing. I am based out in North Dallas, and my grow zone is 8B. We have some extremely hot weather, and so for Japanese maples, they don't do as well because Japanese maples in general do not like the heat. So you really have to have a lot of shade, or at least protection from the hot afternoon sun. You can see over here we do have quite a bit of different types of shrubs and trees, citrus trees. You can see we've got even a cherry tree right over here, some fig trees, and just a lot of plants that are pretty cost effective. And then we have some bonnie plants, vegetables, and herbs. So speaking of herbs and vegetables, a couple of updates on my outdoor garden, which I still have to show some of these super plant foldies and maybe even the plant foldies. So for those that don't know, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I also have a YouTube membership tier if you want to become a super plant foldie, where I will showcase a lot of my personal plants and just content that is outside of just my big box or plant shopping niche. If you're interested in joining my YouTube membership tier, it is only for $2.99. Click the link in the comments section. I have it pinned, or if you're watching on a computer, you can actually see the join button on any of my YouTube videos. And I did want to say thank you to all of the plant foldies that came out to my defense from somebody who didn't really leave the most kindest comment in the comment section. I always like to foster a positive community. And I do understand that there are people who want to leave feedback. There is a way to leave constructive feedback without being negative or just being ugly about how you go about it. I mean, it's just really interesting that somebody would say that I am literally begging people to join my YouTube membership page. No, that is not it. And no, I will not stop being talkative, because that is who I am as a person. That's just my platform. But it's just really interesting, the things that people say and the things that people want to put out in a public space. I always say, show kindness, be kind, don't be negative. And, you know, if you have constructive feedback, do it in a way where there is actually value to it. So for those that actually engage in my YouTube videos, actually accept me for who I am as an authentic person, or at least me being my most authentic self. Yes, I am really talkative. Yes, I am repetitive. Yes, I will let you know about my YouTube membership page. But like I've said in all of my videos, you can choose to engage in my videos. You can choose to watch my content, but what will not be tolerated is negativity. I always say, if you don't like the content, just don't watch it. I don't understand why people feel the need to be keyboard warriors. And yes, I am one of those content creators that will hold people accountable for their actions. I will literally show people what negativity is and how we can prevent people from doing that. So let me get off of my soapbox. You already know Plant Foldies. I love to be very transparent. I love to talk to you guys directly. And that is the reason why whenever I take the time, yes, an hour's worth of work to actually film plant videos, it's because I also utilize this as a personal lifestyle blog. But on a more positive note, Plant Foldies, I am still curious to see if any of you guys have actually taken a lot of your plants and put them in Classy Rabbit soil. Just updates on my plants. They are doing extremely well, and I hope to invite everybody to go to classyrabbit.com. It is one of the best soils because it is naturally sourced. Plant Foldies, have you ever heard of this new soil called Classy Rabbit, which is from a local small business out in McKinney, Texas? Really excited to share with you this new soil, which is 100% organic. What I love about it is that this is a standalone type soil. You don't have to mix orchid bark or other amendatives that actually make this soil chunky. It is already chunky, light, and fast draining. You can use it to improve your existing soil. What I also like about it is they are made by farmers, so they don't really consult like soil scientists or whatever that means. They really know what Mother Nature has in the soil. And what I like about it is I've been able to pot up a lot of my plants from overseas, and they have really acclimated to this soil. I love the fact that, again, it is 100% organic, and the ingredients that we have would be rabbit manure, composed food waste, pine bark chips, mycorrhizae, dried molasses, pumice, and expanded shale, rice hulls, and yucca extract. So all of those ingredients really make this soil. It is balanced, and what I love about it is Classy Rabbit products are simple where it counts, smart where they matter. So that means all of the ingredients that the soil needs, it's right there. They don't need to add anything else, and they don't offer anything that they don't need. I also love the fact that Classy Rabbit is priced well, where it's a happy medium between the low prices of cheap, and when I say cheap, quality, and the high prices of unnecessary ingredients. It kind of balances it both. And if you see right here, I potted this Aglaonema up in a terracotta planter. You can see how fast draining it is as I put a bunch of water into the soil. You can see that it is literally just draining through, but just because it's fast draining, it doesn't mean that it doesn't retain moisture. It definitely does. But I love the fact that I don't have to worry about adding any perlite, because this particular soil doesn't have perlite. It has all natural ingredients. So for those that have never heard about Classy Rabbit, please go to classyrabbit.com. I highly endorse this soil. I love it so much. And even though I've been doing semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuza Pon and Leca, I've actually been converting all of my plants back to soil because of this particular soil. They do offer free shipping at classyrabbit.com. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and hopefully you will support Classy Rabbit. I mean, have you pooped on your plants lately? I would. And like I said, with springtime just here, I love the fact that the weather is perfect. You can see all of these beautiful flowers like these right here. These are some Kalanchoe succulents that are really profuse bloomers by Monrova Plants. So I'm going to take just a little bit of time to show you some outdoor gardening plants. Plant Foldies, stay with me. And for those that have discovered this channel, really thankful that you guys have clicked on my video and will engage and watch my plant shopping videos. Today, I will be showing you how I got free plants, and saved a ton of money. Well, not a ton of money, but enough money to the point where I ended up getting free plants at Lowe's. But for now, I did want to just show you the garden center at Lowe's. You can see that every single garden center that I went to of Lowe's in the North Dallas area, I was able to just find super full plants, just a lot of varieties that you can choose from. You can see right over here, we've got some gorgeous begonias. These are dragon wing begonias, and you can see that it's got a beautiful green tone to the leaves, but also some bright blooms. I really love that. And then we can also look at some of these other plants, these dark foliage plants. We've got some coral bells, and take a look at this. This is an alocasia of some sort. I'm not 100% sure what the alocasia is, but you can even see that alocasias, in my opinion, actually grow a lot better when you grow them outdoors because they are less susceptible to spider mites. You know, that's the thing about a lot of plants. The ones that are more susceptible to spider mites, take them outside, grow them outdoors in a shaded area or an area that just gets really good morning light, and it will make your plant care so much easier. Would you guys agree that if you take your indoor tropical plants outside, especially in the months where it is springtime and even early summer, that your plants will actually put on more growth? That's what I like to do, especially for my plants that either I want more growth, or if I have plants that I need to rehab and really get going again. What I'll typically do is actually chop them back all the way down to like 1 or 2 nodes and then let them just regrow outdoors. That's just one of my suggestions for it. But let's go ahead and continue to walk around here and see what other plants we have available. You can see we've got a bunch of hostas right here and many plants to choose from. And one of the plants that I've quickly become really intrigued by and also became just very interested in growing in my garden would be hostas. So this one right here is a Monrova hosta. Notice how it's got that green on green variegation. It almost reminds me of like an Epipremnum aureum Manjula pothos, but the green version, like a reverted version. Love green on green coloration. I love the neon colors. And what I love about hostas is that they are actually perennials in my grow zone. So what that means is that these plants, when planted in a landscape, will grow back year after year, depending on your grow zone. And then you can see right here, we've got some Asiatic jasmine, which is a ground cover, and everybody's favorite, or at least my favorite, to say this Hydra helix, or what you call the Hedera helix or English ivy. This is for $4.96, and I haven't really explained the reason why I say Hydra helix in a while. So for those that are new, please don't be startled. I purposely say Hydra helix because I really thought that that was the correct way of pronouncing Hedera helix. So thanks to the plant foley that gave me the insight that that was the incorrect way of saying it. But at the end of the day, it seems like people kind of stuck around with it. Very excited to continue to say Hydra helix. I'd actually asked you guys to say Hydra helix with me. Let's go ahead and say Hydra helix. Anyways, let me stop being silly. Plant foldies, you can tell that I am actually in a super good mood. You know, that's another reason why I always say whenever you are either stressed or need just that Zen peacefulness, go plant shopping. Whether it is at a big box store or a local nursery, go plant shopping. You will really enjoy just seeing all of the beautiful foliage. Every time I go to a Lowe's now, I will be looking for proven winner plants, specifically proven winners caladiums. These are absolutely stunning. These are the heart-to-heart caladiums. This one is the bottle rocket, and this is only for $6.98. So here's my insights about caladiums and certain plants that you can either grow indoors or outdoors. I love the fact that caladiums can potentially be grown indoors as a houseplant, and even with proven winter plants, this one specifically says can be adapted into a houseplant. So I love the fact that something as vibrant in color, something as beautiful as this can be grown indoors. Now, my only suggestions for growing caladiums indoors is number one, have fast draining soil that doesn't really hold a lot of moisture. The reason why I say this is while caladiums do like to be be watered consistently. You don't want to overwater it to the point where the bulbs rot. Number two, caladiums love humidity. If you are able to increase the humidity, they are going to do better for you indoors. And then number three, lighting. Caladiums will actually go dormant if you don't provide them enough light. So make sure that you're providing them enough light. And number four, if you're going to grow a caladium indoors, you want to make sure that you put it in a warmer environment so they don't really like cold drafts, because if you do not give it the warmth, it's going to think that it's actually needing to go dormant. And that's how you can keep a caladium growing year round. To the plant foldy that actually mentioned in the comment section that they've been able to successfully grow caladiums indoors year round. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for sharing your experiences, because that's how we learn as a plant foldy community. I never claim to be an expert. A lot of my plant information is really through trial and error, experience, and obviously my grandmother Belen, who has taught me so much about plants. And one thing, a side note, for those that are interested about how my grandmother's 90th celebration went, it was extremely well. It was very emotional for me because, for my grandmother to be 90 years old and she is still super healthy, she can walk on her own. She has good hearing. She is still very sharp in the mind. I am just so thankful, and I feel very blessed that I have my grandmother there. She really attributes a lot of her mental health, her wellness, her health in general through decades of growing plants. So, her message for any of the plant foldies, and thank you to all the plant foldies that took the time to wish her well. And I also wanted to shout out Kuya Jordan, who works at Steve's Leaves. He actually is sending her a begonia plant. My grandmother loves begonias. She can grow them very well. So thank you to that. But my grandmother's birthday was extremely a success. All of my family was there. There were a lot of speeches, a lot of talent that performed for her, some really good Filipino food. And so I would love to share that with the plant foldy community. So stay tuned for a couple of clips from her party. And then for the super plant foldies, the ones that are actually on my YouTube membership tier, you will see some special performances by plant foldy Isaac. He actually sang a song in Filipino. So definitely take a look for that. And then just more content that's going to come out from her birthday party. But anyways, plant foldies, going back to the proven winner plants, you can see that there are many different types of caladiums. Let me know in the comment section if I should grow caladiums, because they are plants that I tend to gravitate to. You can see right over here, this one is actually in bloom. As far as my opinion about proven winner plants, they are definitely winners because they always perform very well, whether it is an indoor tropical plant like Proven Winners Leaf Joy series or Proven Winner plants. Really thankful that they continue to push out some amazing plants like that. And as you can see right here, we've got so many colors. Whenever I look at these caladiums, especially the vibrant reds, I would say my favorite caladium from Proven Winners has to be this. This is called Proven Winners Caladium Heart to Heart Radiance, and you can see that this one is also for only $6.98. What I love about it is how it's got a deep red color. I really love color that is like this. Look at that. It's super vibrant, and I will eventually buy one of these and grow it indoors. I'll keep it keep you guys posted, but let's continue to enjoy these vibrant colors from the caladium. I look at the proven winner caladiums like this one right here, I just feel like they are works of art. They look like somebody just painted these leaves. Absolutely stunning. And whenever you touch the texture of the leaves, they've got a very thin paper-like I guess texture about it, and I just really love it. Now I'm going to be looking at some of these neon colored plants. This one is an alternatera. Now this one is more shrub-like. It's more like a plant that will grow as like a ground cover. Really love the look of this, you know, neon colored plants, and that's the reason why the neon pothos is one of my favorite plants. I just find that those bright colors really bring and uplift my mood. I turn to plants not only because I love to grow them, but they really do help with my mental health. You know, mental health is something that a lot of people may not necessarily talk about. I am a huge advocate when it comes to mental health. So for those that are struggling, for those that are either feeling depressed or anxiety, I encourage you guys to really look at plants, really enjoy the colors, the vibrancy of the foliage, and also the bloom. Springtime definitely brings that out. And you can even see right over here, plant foldies. One of my favorite plants to grow, these are coleus plants, and I love the orange foliage. Today, I will be getting this plant right here, and hopefully I can show you how I ended up getting this plant for free from Lowe's. And I love the fact that it is only $1.98, but at the end of the video, I will end up getting this plant for free. You will see how I did that. And for me, this particular coleus plant, while it is a common one, while it is only for $1.98, it's one that really speaks to me, that specific one, because if you look at all of the other coleus, that one is the most orange and has the most vibrancy around it. Coleus plants, as far as coleus plants, they just need to be watered consistently. They do not like to stay too dry. Now over here is an Epipremnum aureum, or what you would call a golden pothos, for $19.98 in an 8-inch hanging basket. You can see that that one looks really nice. I am in my pothos era. Right now, I'm actually getting a lot of savings by propagating my pothos plants. I took several cuttings and they have easily rooted in water. But let's continue to look at some of these coleus plants right here. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you actually are considering growing coleus plants. There are two other plants I really want to popularize for this season. Not only am I all about aglaonemas, thank you guys for really giving aglaonemas a chance, but I would also love for you guys to popularize coleus plants. Like this one right here has some vibrant neon colors. This is another one that I hope to get for free, and I will show you at the end of the video how I will end up getting this coleus plant for free. Super excited about this, but I wanted to get the orange one. I also wanted to get the neon one. I'm actually thinking about getting these coleus plants and actually taking them to work. I don't know if any of you guys take plants to work. I take plants to work because it kind of, I don't know, downsizes my personal plant collection at home. So, you know, those coleus plants, we'll see if I'll actually be able to grow them at work. But those two specifically are the plants that I would like to buy today. And hopefully I can show you how I ended up getting them for free. Now I'm going to walk over here and just show you some of the begonias, and then we're going to end up going into the indoor tropical section. So for my begonia lovers, I know a lot of us will grow begonias indoors. You can see this is a specific begonia. This one is only for $12.88. These begonias are grown as annual begonias. I have never really considered growing these indoors long term. Curious to see if anybody's actually tried to grow those flowering begonias indoors long term. Please let me know in the comment section below. You already know plant foldies. I just love insights for anybody that actually gives me the time of day to give me their insights about plants in the comment section. It truly does bring me a lot of joy, and I really hope that we can continue to foster almost like a message board on the comment section. But let's continue to walk around here for a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you the indoor tropical plants. springtime is just a lovely time, especially if you are a plant lover like myself. You can see right here, these orange marigolds. Love marigolds. I'm actually growing a couple from seed. These are only for $1.98. And the thing about it is marigold, you can harvest the seeds very easily, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of hybrids of marigolds pop up in the near future. There's always new hybrids coming around, and you know, horticulture is just very interesting. I mean, we have glowing petunias that Costa Farms recently released, and then who knows what other plants we'll be seeing in the years to come. That's the reason why, for me, going to big box stores and showing you the plants that are available, it's really important for me to at least do that for the Plantfoldy community. Obviously, I love local nurseries, small businesses, always encourage people to support local businesses and small businesses, but most of the time, big box stores are more readily available for us to see. I mean, you can even see right here. Take a look at this. There's just so many plants to pick from, and hopefully you guys will find value. I mean, you can see these planters right here. We've got caladiums and we've got dragon wing begonias with red blooms. Absolutely stunning. And I am excited to walk in and show you the indoor tropical plants in just a second. Now that we're indoors and looking at the indoor tropical plants, this was the first plant I wanted to showcase. Look at this. Look at how vibrant these Epipremnum aureum marble queen pothos are. They're basically snow queen pothos because if you look at the variegation, it is highly variegated, more so than the typical marble queen pothos. These are released by Costa Farms in 6-inch planters for only $16.98. And when you talk about impulse buys, this could have been a very easy impulse buy for me because I definitely would have bought this plant. I had to really exercise a lot of restraint in purchasing it another snow queen pothos because I already have 3 hanging baskets of it. But that's the thing, when Costa Farms releases new plants, fresh plants that I could tell were just delivered at this Lowe's location, it's very challenging to always control ourselves from buying plants. I do want to know, as far as anybody who does shop for plants, do you ever find yourself with impulse buys where you didn't really necessarily intend to buy a plant, but there was just a plant that was so beautiful or the price was just right that you ended up just buying it with no intention of ever really buying it to begin with? Let me know in the comments section, Plantfoldies, if you ever find yourself with that. But this particular plant right here, this is what I would call a snow queen pothos. In order for you to really maintain that high variegation, you must provide it with a lot of bright indirect light. Grow it under a grow light, grow it in a south facing window or west facing window. Otherwise, this plant will eventually start to green up. That's the only problem with pothos plants. I would say that the majority of their coloration is really impacted by the amount of light you give it. So let's just continue to walk around and I will show you some more of these indoor plants. You can tell that this Lowe's location just recently got a restock. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a couple more of these plants. I love the fact that this Lowe's has a lot of 6-inch hanging basket planters by Costa Farms. These are all for $16.98. So let's take a look at the other plants that they have available at this Lowe's location in Prosper, Texas. Let's talk about Live Trends design plants. Live Trends design plants, they just have the best stylish planters. It really fits the plant aesthetic that I have in my home. I really like those minimalistic planters. I really like the grays, the neutral colors, and I just love the fact that these planters really match the plants that they have here. You can see these are all for $12.98. And when it comes to Live Trends designs, they definitely put in a lot of thought process in the aesthetic that they want to present. I would say that these Live Trends design plants are a little bit more elevated in the sense that their planters are just stunning, or they are very much so seasonally relevant. So when you think about this, look at this. This is a wooden planter housing an air plant. Now, I don't have any air plants in my plant collection. I couldn't really tell you what the plant care tips are for air plants, but that is just a really cute looking planter. And now we also, if there's a Live Trends design, Design. There is also an Urban Jungle Plants. Lowe's carries three major plant providers. It would be Costa Farms, Live Trends Designs, as well as Urban Jungle Plants. You can see this one right here is called The Nest. This one is actually a ZZ Zenzi plant by Live Trends Design. I really love the compact nature of this particular plant. It's also very low light tolerant and drought tolerant. So this makes for a very easy plant that you can put on your desk. You can put in a space that doesn't necessarily get the best light, and this plant will still survive and live for you. So ZZ Zenzi or ZZ plants are plants that I would highly recommend as an easy to care for plant. And now we're going to be looking at these gorgeous terracotta planters. This one is by Urban Jungle. This one is the series where they have all of these terracotta planters that are painted. You can see this is only for $13.98. This is a new planter that Urban Jungle's released, and you can see that this is a Sansevieria bird's nest. We'll be picking up a lot of these Urban Jungle plants for $13.98. That is a really nice planter with a plant. I would say these would be really good statement pieces. You can see even this, they've got a plethora of different types of plants that they offer. This one is for $13.98. This is some type of philodendron by Urban Jungle. I would like to ask anybody that goes big box store plant shopping, which plant provider do you prefer? Do you like Costa Farms plants, Urban Jungle plants, or Live Trends Designs? For me, I equally like all three, and the reason being is they have something different to offer. So when you look at the Urban Jungle plants, for instance, they have a boho bohemian theme, something that's a little bit more funky, something that's a little bit more retro. And if you're looking to add a little bit more character, I would go with Urban Jungle plants. As far as the plant pricing, I would also say Urban Jungle plants are very much cost effective. They're priced well for the plant that you're getting. So let's continue to walk around and I'll show you some more of these plants that they offer. He asked me for $24.98 this Live Trends design in a 6-inch planter. This is a philodendron black cardinal. I mean, look at the stunning leaves, and I just love the planter. It's got a very nice neutral color with a pastel green tone to it, and when you put that with this plant, it works well. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the fake moss. I would rather, if they're going to put some type of top dressing, either pebbles or something of that nature, maybe even orchid bark that's a little bit smaller. I'm not really a fan of the fake moss, but other than that, I love Live Trends Designs. $24.98. I would highly encourage people to shop Live Trends Designs. I think that they are very innovative, and I just love that they always release very seasonally relevant planters. Now, I have been talking a lot about bonsai. So this is for $29.98. This is a ficus ginseng bonsai. You can see that the majority of the plant structure is really centered around the caudex or the trunk. It's got a very thick trunk around it. Now, since this is a ficus plant, it is going to need a lot of bright indirect light. It's very interesting that even Costa Farms has delved into the bonsai realm. Here's my opinion about the Costa Farms bonsai series. They are really good for at least pre-bonsai. I do feel like you would still need to trim it, style it, wire it to really get a good shape. But as far as a plant that's good bonsai stock, I would recommend Costa Farms bonsai for $29.98. For instance, you are getting a Chinese elm right here. I ended up buying one that is bent like this and has a nice structure. I have yet to make it into a full blown bonsai, and what I mean by that is I'm actually going to put it in a shallow bonsai container. We'll see what that looks like. I would like to document it and actually put that as a either members only YouTube super plant foldy tier, or maybe have it for the plant foldies, because here's the thing. If I post videos that are outside of my niche, and it's my niche is specifically big box store plant shopping, people have told me that, for instance, my Metro Maples Japanese maple video wasn't getting recommended to their feeds, even though that person is subscribed. So I would ask the plant foldies, definitely check to see if not only are you subscribed, but you move your subscription not to personalized notifications, move it to all notifications. Hopefully you'll get the notification when I upload a new video. Like I said, again, aside from me really loving indoor tropical plants, showing you plant shopping videos, there are a lot of other interests that I would like to share about myself, whether you are part of the YouTube membership tier, or if you are a diehard plant foldy that likes the free content. Just know that you guys will get all of this free content from me. That's something that will never go away. The YouTube membership tier just has a little bit more to offer in terms of getting to know me as a person. I may end up doing my face reveal there, or I may end up posting things that are not even plant related. So definitely stay tuned for that. Now, again, you know, Urban Jungle, just as much as I love Live Trends Design, these are new Urban Jungle hanging ceramic planters. I love Urban Jungle hanging ceramic planters because they really utilize terracotta. And when you think about a very classic planter, I will always gravitate to terracotta. A lot of my Aglaonema that I've actually potted up in Classy Rabbit soil. Again, check out classyrabbit.com, order your soil today. I use terracotta planters. I ended up buying them actually at Walmart. Walmart has some modern terracotta planters, and that's just something that I am very much interested in. It is one of my go-to planters. And then you can see right here, Live Trends Design has an interesting texture. It's interesting that Live Trends Design is actually doing a little bit more texture and patterns. Typically, Live Trends Designs, they have more modern, just very sleek designs. But you can see this Epipremnum aureum neon pothos for $16.98. Really nice design. And this is one of my favorite ceramic planters by Live Trends Design. This is a green Marantha, but you can see that it's got that pastel pink around it. Love this plant. Unfortunately, this is another plant that, as beautiful as the foliage is, it's going to be a challenging plant to grow because it's one that, number one, needs to be consistently watered. That's something I don't necessarily have time to do so. Number two, the quality of water you actually give it actually matters. You don't really want to give it hard tap water, otherwise the leaves can actually get browning tips. So just a couple of grow tips for that. Now, if you want something easy, cost effective, and readily available, buy yourself a Marble Queen Pothos. I'm just comparing this Marble Queen Pothos versus the Costa Farms Snow Queen Pothos. You'll notice that they actually have higher variegation. Needless to say, this is still a beautiful plant. If you really want to push out more variegation for this one, give it a lot of bright light. It'll actually lighten up, and it's an easy to care for plant. Now, we're going to be looking at some more of these Pachira aquatica or money tree plants. These are for $9.98. And it looks like Costa Farms is experimenting with different shapes in terms of the planters. This is known to bring good luck, or a lot of people will say the feng shui or good luck. This is one of those lucky type plants, alongside with like the lucky bamboo, or what you call the Dracaena sandriana. I realized that I showed this philodendron heteroraceum, just a green form. This one is for $16.98, but would you believe I actually don't own this easy to care for plant? I have the neon version, but I do not have the regular green version. This will be another plant that I would put on my wish list, just because even if it is just a common green heart-shaped leaf philodendron, it's one that is just very easy. And you know, there are a couple of plant foldies that I mentioned that they're overwhelmed with their plants. I am in the same boat as well, where you know, my plant room that I meant to just really maintain has really been neglected. There are several plants that I have sent to plant heaven, some of my aglaonemas, for instance, and you know, that's just full transparency. So I totally get how people can get overwhelmed when, you know, growing plants. And so for me, I am just looking for those easy to care for plants, the plants that are going to be forgiving. Now, this Fittonia combination for $8.98, that one is not going to be as forgiving for me, because I already know I'm not going to be able to maintain the watering conditions for it. And then we've got a Marble Queen Pothos here. It looks like Costa Farms may have just released a bunch of the Marble Queen Pothos crop that they have. You know, whenever you're seeing a specific plant popping up in a lot of these big box stores from Costa Farms, it might just be that crop that they have. I love the Marble Queen Pothos. I think it's one of those easy to care for plants. It's one that I think everybody should add into their plant collection. Actually, any pothos plant or Epipremnum aureum is a plant that I would recommend, just because it is readily available. There's many ways to be able to grow it. And so if you need a beginner plant, or even more so a plant that's going to bring you joy, add yourself a pothos plant. I was actually scrolling around Instagram during Earth Day. You know, happy Earth Day to everybody. I saw a bunch of plant influencers just posting pictures of their pothos plants, and it just reminds me that the plants that are the most common doesn't necessarily mean that the value of the plant is any less than, say, a rare philodendron or some variegated monstera. I just feel like the more common plants are the plants that just are a little bit more universal, in a sense that it's just easier to take care of. I would like to ask the plant foldies in the comment section, would you agree? What are your insights on pothos plants specifically? I know that I feature them a lot in my big box or plant shopping videos. It is one of my favorite plants, and there's just so many varieties that are getting more popular, especially the Japanese pothos. I love the fact that Costa Farms has actually released some of the Japanese pothos, like the Shangri-La, as well as the Champs Ulysses. Anyways, let's just keep looking at these Costa Farm exotic angel plants. You'll see that the 5-inch planters are going to be $8.98. Now at Lowe's, it's $8.98. But if you compare the plant pricing at Home Depot from my previous plant shopping video at Home Depot, it was $7.98. And in all my plant shopping videos, I always like to steer people in the right direction in terms of how to save money on plants. I would just say, make sure you set yourself up with a budget, number one. Number two, do some window shopping. Really canvass how much the plant pricing is going to cost. And if you can't afford the plant, I would say either wait for the plant to lower its price, or better yet, offer to find somebody that is willing to trade plants, or maybe even propagate one through a cutting. Those are ways that I've been able to acquire certain plants. You know, I have a really good, strong support system when it comes to my plant collection. You know, my really good friends, Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants, we create Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. We are always sharing plants with each other. You know, free plants are the best plants. And, you know, this video is all about how I ended up getting free plants today. You'll have to wait until the very end to see how I got the free plants, but it is one that anybody that shops at Lowe's would be able to get a free plant. You'll see that at the end of the video. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I'm just gonna go take the time to show you some more of these exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. They range from $8.98 to $5.98. The $5.98 plants are the ones that are in the 3.5-inch planters. here we go again with the Hydra Helix. This one is the Little Herman ivy, beautiful ivy. It's got small foliage. And then we have the classic peace lily, or what you call the spathiphyllum. This one is for $5.98. This one is a super low light tolerant plant, but it is a super thirsty plant as well. So this is another plant that I don't really keep because I know that my watering habits are not the most consistent. Over here, we've got a parlor palm, beautiful plant, but it's not something that I'm running to get. I do like the texture of the leaves, but it's really just not my aesthetic when it comes to growing plants. Let me know in the comment section, actually, plant foldies, what exotic angel Costa Farms plants that have you bought? What are you currently growing? Are you a fan of them? I'd really like to know your insights. I mean, because look at this, dark foliage plants that we're going to be looking at. So this one is a purple waffle plant. I love the plant. It just does not love me back. And what I mean by that is this plant actually needs a little bit higher humidity. It definitely needs to be consistently watered. And those are, environments that I can't always provide. And then over here, Syngonium Maria. I do love me some Syngoniums. Syngoniums and I are back in love. Syngoniums are my first love to begin with. I love the fact that Syngoniums are fast growing. There's many varieties and they're easy to propagate. The only thing I dislike about Syngoniums is that they're super thirsty plants as well. Pan Am Palea, I love this plant. It is another plant that for a Palea is actually not as hard to grow. It's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to just underwatering plants. So, that's one plant that I would recommend if you're going to try to grow Paleas. And then we also have the Gold Dust Croton. It's one of those common crotons alongside with the Croton Petra. This one is for $5.98. So let's continue to just look at whatever Costa Farms plants we have available at this Lowe's location. It just amazes me how many plants Costa Farms produces and how many plants are readily available for us at these big box stores. I did want to also point out the fact that this Lowe's location has a couple of cute little birds. In my backyard, in my garden, I actually have a bird feeder, and that's one way of me just relaxing and enjoying my outdoor garden. I don't know if you guys actually have bird feeders, but they're really pleasant to look at because of all of the birds. You can see that this Lowe's location houses a lot of birds, and it's just interesting how they just make it in and just have their own little home within a store. So I think that that's a little bit funny. Now let's get back to the Costa Farms exotic angels right here. Phytonias. This one is a Phytonia Juanita. Love the pink veining on this particular plant. Pink plants. Who does not love pink plants? And for those that actually tune into the Cultivation Corner Season 2 finale, I really wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching our fruits of our labor. That season was just a lot of fun to work with Janae, Simone, and Steven. Now, the last season finale episode was about plant scandals. I hope that you guys don't think that it was all about trying to spread gossip, because really all of those blind items are items that you can find on social media. It's really interesting, the things that you can find. All I'm going to say is this: if you are a prop lifter, please rethink your motives, because you know what? I never believe that, lowering your morals for a plant is anything but acceptable. It is not. I always tell people, if you want the plant, just ask if you can get a cutting, or better yet, find ways like trades or even saving money for plants. But, for me, when it comes to prop lifting, it is totally not okay. It is not okay to scam people when you're selling plants as well. It goes both ways. And if you haven't already checked out the season finale for season 2 on the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, you definitely need to watch it, especially if you're the type that likes to get the tea on things. And it's interesting, even reading the comments in the comment section on that episode, people really want to know who these blind items are. I would say if you really do your research, online, you'll be able to figure out and connect the dots. But anyways, so as far as the plants that we are looking at, though, plant foldies, you can see that this one is a really nice and bright Photonia. Photonias, again, are plants that prefer higher humidity levels. They do better in terrariums, and they need to stay consistently watered. Same thing with the spathiphyllum right over here. Now, this one is actually in bloom, and I do find the spathiphyllum or peace lily really pretty. It's just not a plant that I'm really running over to try to add into my plant collection, and it's because I already know myself. I know that I struggle when it comes to watering my plants, and a lot of times it's because I just have too many plants. Let's face it, a lot of us that probably watch my shopping videos are in the same boat where we have just bought way too many plants. You know, there are moments where I could have bought a lot of plants even during this plant shopping excursion, but I have really exercised a lot of restraint. Now, as far as buying plants, I didn't end up buying plants. I ended up just getting them for free at this Lowe's location. And like I said, again, at the very end of the video, you'll see how I ended up getting it for free. And then over here, look at this beautiful Rex begonia. Look at that red on it. Absolutely stunning. I love the metallic shine. I love the deep red tones. And this one is only for $5.98. So here is another example of a plant that I would impulse buy because it is so beautiful. But I just know with Rex begonias, they're a little bit more challenging for me to grow. So I'm going to refrain from adding even more stress to myself. You know, there are some plant foldies that are really struggling with their plants. I really appreciate your transparency. You are not alone. I am also having some issues with some of my plants. Some of my aglaonema that have actually transferred into semi-hydroponic substrates, some of them have actually made it to plant heaven. I didn't realize that some aglaonemas just do not make the transition very well into semi-hydroponic substrates. Does that mean that you should not put aglaonema into semi-hydroponic substrates? Absolutely not. I think if a plant transitions to semi-hydro, it makes it so much easier to take care of them because all you have to do is fill the water reservoir. The only risk you have is whether those roots actually transition into semi-hydro. So that's really the question. That's really the risk you do whenever you are moving a plant from a specific substrate. Now, this is another neon colored plant. This one is a Dracaena Limelight. Beautiful plant. This one is also one that gets fairly large and is able to tolerate lower light conditions. So let's continue to just walk around and look at some more of these Costa Farms plants. You know, Costa Farms plants are prevalent at Lowe's locations, and that's the reason why I love shopping at Lowe's. I love promoting Costa Farms plants while I go big box or plant shopping because they make a lot of these plants more readily available for the general public, and it's a lot more cost effective in general whenever you're going big box or plant shopping. So let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, again, what Costa Farms plants you might have bought, which ones that you're huge fans of. And if you made it this far into the video, plant foldies, thank you so much for continuing to engage in my YouTube videos. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And you see that this particular Lowe's has a bunch of those bromeliads. I love the selection that Costa Farms has for us. And then obviously I cannot pass by a gorgeous Aglaonema Silver Bay. So Aglaonema Silver Bay by Urban Jungle. This one is for $19.98. You can see that it's got some nice metallic shine to it. It is another drought tolerant, low light tolerant, easy to care for plant. and cost effective. So all of the characteristics you want to look into a plant, the Aglaonema Silver Bay has it. And you can see right here, we've got a silver band Marantha, beautiful Marantha. That is another Live Trends design plant in a hanging basket. And let's take a look at this one. This is another urban jungle plant. This one is another Philodendron Hederaceum, just a green form for $19.98. It's an actual, it's in a plastic planter by Urban Jungle, which is actually not as commonly found for urban jungle plants. They typically have them in terracotta planters. And then you'll have another Philodendron Hederaceum. This is the Brazil. This one is for $24.98 by Live Trends Design. And, you know, with the coloration variegation of Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil, the more bright light you get, the more neon colors you're going to get out of those leaves. And then let's take a look at some more of these urban jungle planters. $13.98. You'll see that they have all of these unique textures on these terracotta planters. This is another Alocasia. This is an Alocasia poly. And, you know, as far as Alocasias, I had them growing in Lechuza Pond. They were doing extremely well, but when you just don't literally take care of your plants, no matter whether they are in semi-hydroponic substrates, they're going to end up going to plant heaven. And, you know, those are the casualties that I have. And it's really because I have neglected my plants. And that's the reason why even last week, whenever I wasn't as consistent with my plant shopping videos or content creation, it's because I was taking more time to actually take care of my plants. Because for me, if I'm going to be sharing care tips for my, the plants during my shopping videos, I also want to follow my own care tips and actually enjoy my plants, take care of them, really practice mindfulness. And, you know, shout out to Mel for being very transparent. Mel is one of our loyal plant foldies, and the fact that she has been transparent about just her struggles with her plants. My message for Mel is you are not alone. We all have that where we're either plant burnout is real, but just know that we are all there for you. I am also experiencing a little bit of plant burnout, but things have gotten a little bit better. Now, these ones right here, urban jungle planters, this is really cool. Look at this Epipremnum aureum neon queen pothos. Notice how the leaves are a little bit more neon. It's like basically the neon version of a marble queen pothos. I do love the new urban jungle ceramic planters. These terracotta planters are really nice. Like, look at that greenish tone to this planter on this Epipremnum aureum. Pearls and jade pothos, these are all for $24.98. I wouldn't mind actually buying these, and I don't even mind the texture. These are always going to be my go-to plants, pothos plants. Love them. Like I said again, one of the easy to care for plants that I would recommend. Hopefully everybody will actually get a pothos plant. And if you are needing to get a pothos plant, you can always ask a friend to give you a couple of cuttings because they root very easily. And then here is an example of a Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Look at the colors on this particular Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Beautiful plant. And again, this is by Urban Jungle. So let's continue to walk around and take a look at all the other plants that Urban Jungle has to offer. Always love seeing new releases by Live Trends Design. Look at this new planter here. It's got some beads. I love the the string on it. And I obviously love the Philodendron Heteroraceum Neon. Look at how beautiful that is. This is for $16.98. And again, it is all about those smooth matte surfaces. This one has a little bit of a shinier glaze. I don't necessarily mind it because it still has a very modern looking shape. That is the reason why, if you're going to ask me my plant aesthetics, it's always going to be Live Trends Design planters. Really love the work of their plants. And, you know, shout out to Live Trends Designs. For those that actually work for Live Trends Designs, thank you for providing us with some amazing modern looking plants. And I just love and adore the planters. I mean, take a look at this. This Syndapsis right over here in the pink planter by Live Trends Design. And here's another thing about Live Trends Design. They know what the modern looking aesthetic is. I really love the matte finishes, the pinks. And speaking of which, I feel like Live Trends Design is the only plant nursery provider for big box stores that offers a philodendron micans. And I love me some micans. I've actually grown a philodendron micans in my kitchen for a while. It does get a little bit leggy and it is a little bit thirsty, but if you're able to give it its best care tips, which is consistent watering, bright indirect light, it's going to give you that beautiful velvety textured leaves. And you can see Urban Jungle is kind of delving into more of like a Live Trends Design look. This one is an alocasia that is growing in straight water or hydroponics. I actually have one alocasia growing in straight water, and I really do want to keep it in a hydroponic growing condition where it just grows in water. I just feel like the care tips is definitely going to be easier because you don't have to worry about watering the plant. You just have to fill the water reservoir. So let's continue to just look at more of these Live Trend Design plants. Let me know in the comment section, again, Plant Foldies, what you think. And just know that when I get a little bit more time, I will start posting even more videos on my YouTube membership page. Again, if you are interested in joining the Super Plant Foldies tier, it is only for $2.99. I did want to shout out all these Super Plant Foldies, the ones that have invested their time in wanting to see more personalized and exclusive content. Really appreciate that. Could say about this particular Lowe's, the Prosper Lowe's location, is that even if it doesn't have nearly as many selection of plants, they maintain organization. I love the just the organization of the plants and how full it looks. I mean, you can see right here, look at how full and organized this Lowe's location is. Feel free to let me know in the comment section if you agree. I mean, I am a fan of organization. It just makes us more inspired to purchase more plants. And, you know, this is not a Grow Folds big box store plant shopping video without an Aglaonema red Siam feature. It is a common plant. It is a plant that I feel like people overlook, are not really paying attention to, but hoping that me talking about this almost on a daily basis might get you inspired to try to grow in Aglaonema red Siam or even these Aglaonema silver bay. So shout out to Costa Farms. Costa Farms, thank you. Please keep giving us more Aglaonemas. We are ready for it. And, you know, those that are new to the channel, just know that I want to popularize Aglaonema. So if you have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, which I would actually highly recommend if you are a diehard plant foldie, to either create an Instagram page and follow me at GrowFolds, because that's where I will post a lot of my other content that you may not necessarily see on my YouTube platform. But anyways, use the hashtag popularize aglaonema if you ever post anything about aglaonemas on social media. We are getting more traction that way, and I think that's one way to find other plant foldies on the internet. Now over here, I'm just going to keep picking up some more 6-inch planters. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue pothos. Love this pothos, and I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, if you were to find a hanging basket of Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue, it was like a huge deal. Now that is a plant that's more readily available. And then you can see right here these flame violets. Look at that beautiful foliage as well. I do want to grow some flame violets because they do have some beautiful blooms. Hopefully I'll find one that is in bloom with that one, and I'll show you. Now this, if you notice, has the serial barcode crossed off. This is a Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen pothos that is 50% off from $16.98. I'm actually, another reason why I would actually buy this is because it is on clearance. The plant doesn't seem to have declined in its health, but when I think about it, there are just too many plants in my plant collection. I really try to curate my plant collection by trying to downsize it, but alas, it's a never-ending battle with me. I mean, the fact that I will be getting at least 20 new aglaonemas from overseas should tell you that I am continuously adding more plants to my plant collection. Over here again, $16.98 is a flame violet. You can see that it's got a beautiful bloom right there, but I'm more interested not in the blooms but the actual leaves. The leaves actually have a beautiful metallic shine to it, and you know, this actually comes in many different varieties. And so let me just keep showing you more Costa Farms exotic angel plants. I am hoping that Costa Farms this year will release some more cool aglaonema or more trending tropical plants that are a little bit more unique. And speaking of plants, so I remember this Costa Farms plant. This is a Calathea dotty. This one used to be like a trending tropical plant for $19.98. Now you can just buy the 6-inch planter for $12.98. And as beautiful as this plant is, I just can't grow it. You know, Calatheas will not make it into my plant collection because I try to grow them in straight hydroponics where it's in water. They end up getting spider mites. I try to grow them in soil. I can't keep up with them. So lots of opportunities when it comes to growing Calathea, so I would rather not have the heartache for it. Same thing with croton plants. As much as I love them, unless you are really growing them outdoors, they just don't do well indoors. I mean, let me know in the comment section again, plant foldies, if that is the case for you, or maybe I'm just the one that cannot grow plants. I do believe certain people just have a better knack for growing specific plants. I would like to say that I grow aglaonema fairly well, but because I am really obsessed with them. I mean, look at that aglaonema red Siam. So here we are with the beautiful indoor tropical plants at this Lowe's location. I recommend buying these plants up, especially picking up another maybe red aglaonema, red Siam. Now here is my trick on how I ended up getting free plants at Lowe's location. All you have to do is download the Lowe's app and you can just participate in their loyalty program. So every time you buy things from Lowe's, you can have them scan that wallet, and eventually you'll end up getting so many points where you get credited money. I ended up having a free $5 because of my Lowe's location. So this is the reason why I ended up getting free plants. These plants were under $5 and I used my Lowe's free money from the app. So just download the Lowe's app. It's a great loyalty program. I think it's amazing. It holds your receipts. So plant foldies, that's how you can get a free plant at Lowe's. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds if you enjoyed today's video with all the notification bell on. I'll keep you posted on my my coleus plants on the next video.